The 2025 fall event has arrived to Forge of Empires, and with it comes the removal of daily specials, the first new chain set in over 2 years, and a brand new format to the mini challenges. There's a lot to talk about, so let's start with the main event building. It's that new chain set, and it's fairly strong. It will provide 270 forge points and a large amount of goods in all ages, as well as some very large but very specific army boosts. Where it really becomes powerful, though, is when you add on the chain pieces. There are 3 unique pieces. The Sternbergia patch gives forge points and defense boosts for the guild battlegrounds, the wheat patch gives goods and attack boosts for guild expeditions, and the lavender patch gives forge points and next age goods. By chaining these pieces onto the main building, you can massively increase its production, making it a potent target for the blue galaxy. For example, if your goal is to get a lot of forge points, you only need 9 Sternbergia patches to make this building have the largest forge point production of any building, and a max length chain can get up to 33 patches at once. Basically, this building is incredibly powerful for those looking to abuse finished special production items. A max chain of Sternbergias can give 1,425 forge points per collection, although you will not be able to max out a chain of a single type of patch without spending a lot of diamonds. We'll talk more about that in the spending section at the end of this video. You don't have to spend anything, though, to enter this video's giveaway of any 4 patches you want. This video was produced in collaboration with InnoGames, so don't forget to enter. The link is in the description, and the giveaway will close 2 weeks after this video goes live. The main event building will also be producing fragments of the selection kit for 2 new side buildings, the Azalea Arbor and Amberbill Pond. When ascended, both of these buildings will be giving army boosts and resources for quantum incursions, making them potentially interesting to pick up. Also, I hope you've held on to your cider mills since they are getting a whole ton of new upgrades with this event, giving it another 5 levels for a total of 11. The mill's footprint shrinks with these upgrades, and the productions slowly shift back to only supplies. Starting at the silver level, it gains army boosts for the guild expeditions, and at its final platinum level, the size is only 3x2, and you gain an increase on your quantum actions cap by 2,000 actions. There is a fairly large catch, however. You can only get a single one of the platinum upgrades for free, and at most 1 more if you buy the gold event pass. This event will be bringing back the Pop Locks minigame. I'm going to go through a quick refresher on it now, but if you are familiar with the minigame, you can just jump to the timestamp on screen now. You can play the minigame using spoons, 1 spoon per game. These regenerate at a rate of 1 every 8 hours, and once you have 4 or more, they stop regenerating. You can think of this almost like how the forge point bar works. By swaying a spoon, you enter the minigame where you can see a board of colored tiles. If 2 or more of the same color tiles are touching, you can click them to remove them from the board. If 5 or more of the same color tiles are touching, you'll see some stars appear on them. Pop tiles that have stars and you will get a jar with the same number of stars on it. If you're able to drop these to the bottom of the board, you will get a reward. Here's the breakdown of how many tiles it takes to get each amount of stars, and generally the more stars, the better the reward you will receive by dropping that jar. You'll also see some coffee cups on the board. These give you grand prize progress, 1 per cup you manage to drop to the bottom. Popping tiles and dropping cups or jars will also give you some points to the leagues in this event. The more tiles you pop at once, the higher amount of points you'll get. If you're brand new to this minigame, I'd recommend focusing nearly exclusively on bringing down coffee cups. It's really easy for players to focus on jars and completely miss out on the coffee cups you need to get the main building. However, for more experienced players, focusing more on the jars could be handy as they give many points that can help you advance further in the leagues. This event also has 3 boosters you can use, all of which remove tiles. The fork removes any 1 tile on the board, the spatula removes all the tiles in a single row, and the rolling pin removes all tiles in a column. All 3 of these tools are useful for maximizing the cups, jars, and large pops you get. A good rule of thumb is to not use a booster unless you can get 2 of either cups or 5 to 6 star jars out of using it. You start with a few of each booster and can get more from the mini challenge, daily challenges, or by purchasing them with sacks of flour, which you get from the event quests and incidents. If you do want to purchase more boosters with your flour, try to purchase the larger packages rather than the individual tools. The price for each tool is a lot cheaper, about 30 and 50% off for each package respectively. You can also use your flower for buying extra moves in the minigame. 5 moves for 65 flower, so I'd highly recommend keeping some flower in store for when you just need a few more moves to get something down. Again, I'd recommend aiming for getting 2 cups or jars out of those 5 moves, so plan how you use your flower wisely. You also will have the option to use up to 3 spoons at the same time. The minigame plays out exactly the same, with rewards getting multiplied and the cost of boosters being increased too. There should be no difference in your performance if you play 1 spoon or 2 or 3, but playing with multiple spoons increases the variability of your performance. You can have a really good board where you get lots of cups that get multiplied up to 3 times, but you can also have a bad board where you only get a few cups and you used 3 spoons on that. Also, for some mini-challenge quest conditions, playing with multiple spoons will not let you get more progress towards the quests. In general, I'd probably recommend playing only 1 spoon at a time so that you will have more control over the amount of spoons you need to complete those mini-challenges. If you're on a side world and just want to dump spoons quickly, go for 3 at once. Lastly, you will get a few gold spoons here and there throughout the event. These are pretty cool. They let you play through as many boards as you want without spending any normal spoons for 5 minutes. If you use them right, you can get a ton of cups, jars, or league points. But however you use them, you will need to think fast to get the most out of them. One major tip for gold spoons, especially on the browser version of the game, is that you can significantly save time from the dropping of jars if you click outside the minigame window, click through all the pop-ups, and reopen the minigame. Here's a side-by-side comparison of normal versus this faster method. If you are on a slower connection or potentially the mobile app, it may not be as big of an advantage. I'd recommend giving this a try with normal spoons before using it with a gold spoon. At the start of this video, I mentioned that daily specials are gone. That's because the Baker's Stall, this event's item shop, has taken their place. Instead of having the chance at winning daily specials from dropping the jars like you used to in this event, you now have a chance to receive some Mason's marks. The more stars you have, the higher the chance of winning 25 marks, with up to a 40% chance from 6-star jars. You can then spend these marks in the shop to get a wide variety of rewards. Looking at the rewards in the shop, there's a box of free Mason marks, which you want to get every single day. You should average about 1,000 marks just from this box alone over the course of the event, which accounts for a decent chunk of the marks you will get. You can only open it once per day. There are 49 other items available, and rather than list them all out, I'm going to slowly scroll this list so that you can see them all. The full list in a form where you don't need to watch a slow scroll can also be found on my website or the fan wiki. Both of those links are in the description. Largely, there is a whole ton of new and old fall event selection kits and upgrades, over a dozen Ascended upgrade kits, and even fragments of the allies from the Viking and Anniversary events. Some items have special conditions to unlock them. In most cases, this is just a certain threshold you need to reach in the grand prizes. However, in the case of the Epic 2024 Ascended kit, you will need to purchase 10 common items first. Those are just the other Ascended upgrade kits. While most other items have a rarity associated with them, see this chart here, it really doesn't have any meaning other than the common stuff to unlock the Epic Ascended kit. The two really big important things from the shop are going to be the Breeze Mills patches and the Cider Mill kits. The patches appear in the second slot, where you can get a selection kit containing each of the 3 patches. This is the only place you'll be able to get these buildings, so if you want them, be aware. I'll talk a little bit more about how much it will cost for certain amounts of these later in the video. The Cider Mill kits appear in slots 15 to 17, and again is going to be realistically the only place to get them. If you want to get the Platinum version of the Cider Mill, this is where you will have to get the kits you need for the lower levels. The shop will be refreshing every single day, which means you can claim the free Mason marks again and the item limits will reset. You can also choose to refresh the store when you wish for a fee of some Mason marks. It starts at 25 and then doubles each time you refresh. The cost resets each day. Also, the shop will be available for 1 day after the event, meaning that you get 23 free refreshes across the event. Regardless of what you want out of your marks, make sure you spread them out across the entire event. You do not want to be stuck at the end spending a lot of marks on reset costs to try and buy the items you want. This event will have a mini challenge associated with it, but it comes with a new twist. There is only one set of 19 quests that will last for 19 days. Each quest will unlock sequentially with each day. So only the first quest will be available at the start of the mini challenge, where you then have to wait for the next day for the second to unlock, and so on. You can find the quest line as it was on beta on my website, ubernerd14.com/mini/fall25, but do know that it was changed from beta to live servers, with 3 more quests being added, with 2 more golden spoons rewarded. The rewards for completing all these quests is mainly just boosters, including 9 spoons and now a total of 5 golden spoons. You will want to get those if possible to gain as much progress or as many marks as you can to maximize your rewards from this event. The quests start relatively simple. Use a spoon and collect 8 cups, things that will be possible to complete with the spoons regenerating each day. However, the quests get much harder towards the end. Collect 6 jars with a single move, or collect 12 red or white jars with 6 stars, so you may have to spend some extra spoons each day to complete them. The question becomes, where do you get those extra spoons? The best strategy is to just not use spoons if you don't need to. Complete whatever the day's mini-challenge quest is, then wait for your spoons to regenerate for the next day. Avoid just spending all your spoons as soon as you get them, as you want to save them for when there is a quest you can complete with them. One of the easiest places to get spoons can actually be the mini-challenges themselves. Some of the quests reward spoons, so if you wait to collect the rewards from those quests until the next day, you'll have a few extra spoons to use. After completing 10 quests, you can also wait to collect the milestone reward of 3 spoons until you need them. You can also get 3 spoons from the grand prizes. Again, just leave those 2 rewards uncollected until you need spoons. And lastly, you can pick up some spoons from the normal event quests. You get 1 spoon every 3 quests, so there are a decent number in the quest line. I'd recommend waiting to complete the event quests until you need more spoons. The questline will also require a net 75 sacks of flour due to the using extra moves quests, but that shouldn't be too big of a roadblock. Be aware that you will need to collect previous age units twice and complete 8-hour productions in current or previous age goods buildings to complete the whole questline. While this may seem like a fairly tricky mini-challenge, remember that you will have 19 days to complete it. And if you start completing quests from the moment it starts, it should be relatively straightforward, just like the strategies for this event. You'll generally want to choose between pursuing more grand prize progress or gaining more Mason marks to use in the shop. You'll have around 98 spoons to work with for free, plus up to 10 gold spoons. Just make sure, regardless of strategy, that you are never at 4 spoons for too long, as the vast majority of your spoons come from them regenerating. By focusing progress, you'll be able to get the main event building, which is at 450 progress, 1000 eternal market fragments, which requires up to 475 progress, and the only free platinum cider mill selection kit available, which is at 500 progress. You'll need to average close to 4 cups per spoon to get to 500 progress, depending on how skilled you are with your golden spoons. Whenever possible, work on getting cups to the bottom over pursuing reward jars. That means using your moves and boosters to drop those cups. I'd also estimate you being able to pick up around 4,100-ish marks across the whole event, so you'll be able to purchase quite a few items in the baker's stall. I'd also highly recommend that once you can guarantee you will reach 500 progress, you focus more on Mason marks so that you can maximize your rewards from the store. If you would rather focus entirely on Mason marks, I'd project closer to 5,300 marks over the course of the event. However, this does come with the drawback of not getting as many cups. I'd estimate getting less than 400 progress, meaning that you will miss out on the main event building, the Eternal Market, and the Platinum Cider Mill. You get the most marks from the biggest pops, so you'll want to focus on dropping 5 or 6 star jars to the bottom. Use boosters to make those large pops or to clear up difficult boards. Since you will be doing more large pops, going for marks also means that you should place higher in this event's leagues. Also, especially for the mark strategy, you can figure out which color of tile is most likely to spawn on your board. Each board only has 4 colors, so just identify which color is missing and match it with this chart. The color shown is the one that will appear the most. This means if orange is missing, green tiles will spawn more frequently, making it more likely you can get big green pops to get lots of jars. One thing to consider when making your choice between marks or progress is what you want out of this event. If you do want the main event building fully leveled to those Eternal Market Fragments or the Platinum Cider Mill, you are going to have to focus on progress, at least partially. However, if your goal is to build a long chain set, you actually don't need the main building fully leveled for a powerful set, so focusing on marks could be the better option. Let's dive a little bit deeper into the chain set itself, since it gets a little bit tricky with the cost for everything. If you're playing for progress, you can probably build a set of 18 patches for free by spending all of your marks on the patch selection kits. That's not a full chain set, but it can still be fairly powerful with decent Forge Pointer goods productions. If you're playing for marks, you can get that number up to around 22 patches for free, getting a little bit closer to that full set and boosting those productions even further. I'd estimate a full set of patches costing close to 18,800 diamonds, assuming you're focused on collecting marks when you spend your spoons. You would have to pay for 10 manual refreshes during the event to purchase these patches. Remember, there's 23 days of the shop, so you need 10 more. The cost scales from there if you want even more patches for more sets due to the reset cost, so just be prepared for that. Enough about patches though. What if you want to spend elsewhere in the event? You go for more spoons or more sacks of flour to get more progress or more league points. Generally, you'll want to spend heavily on spoons. I'd really only lean into buying flour if you really need it to get a lot of cups or jars off the board, but otherwise primarily buy spoons. Also, if you are planning to spend, you might be one of the few to get the allies in this event. They are buried extremely far into the grand prizes, so you will have to spend to get them. You need 750 progress for the first and 850 for the second. They're pretty much completely out of reach unless you want to buy some spoons. And with that, I wish you the best of luck in this event. I hope all of your boards have lots of cups and are mostly a single color. Join my Discord server if you want to get league predictions or chat about the game, and as always, I'll see you all next time.